Says that we have 70 years. If we have 70 years to span, if we're strong, we got 80 years. And here David is saying this because David had the mind of God. David was a man after God's own heart. And it was David that said, listen, man, God, I'm going to learn to number my days. Look what he says here in verse 12. Teach us to number our days with right, that we may gain the heart of wisdom. It was David that said, every single day, I'm going to number my day. Every single day, I'm going to live life to the fullest. Remember I was saying a while back, if you live to be 70 years old, that means you live 25,550 days. That means if you're 70 years old today, you live 25,550 days. That's how long you have. A normal lifespan in America is 70 years. He says if you got 80 years, you got some strength, and the blessing of God is upon your life. But if you live to be 80 years old, that means you would have lived 29,200 days. When you look at his days, it's not really that big at all. That means I'm 40 years old right now. If I live to be 70 years old, I got 10,950 days left. Wow, that's scary. Days. 10,950 days, I'm going to be 70 years old. Woo! Can you imagine? Think about what I'm saying now. We look at our days like years. Still, we celebrate birthdays yearly. But David said, God, can you teach me to number my days? Because I don't know when we've been here next year. I want to learn to enjoy life today, God. I want to learn to enjoy my salvation, my husband and my wife today. That means today, listen, once youth is gone, it can't be there no more. And he's not bringing down youth at all. But Solomon is saying, listen, enjoy your youth. Enjoy who you are. If you're 30 years old, enjoy your 30s. Enjoy your 20s. Enjoy your 50s. Enjoy your 60s. Understand, but enjoy your life every single day in God. But he gives you an hour warning about living and enjoying your life. He says, listen, make sure that you do it right, though. Look what he says here. He says, Ecclesiastes 11, verse 9, it says, seek God in early life, rejoice, O young man in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and the sight of your eyes. But know that for all these, God will bring you to judgment. Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart. Put away evil from your flesh. For child and youth are vainly. He says, listen, you live life. You enjoy life. But make sure it's honoring God. I like what he says here because in the last part of it here, he says, you walk in the ways of your heart. Go ahead and live life to the fullest. Go ahead and do what you got to do in life. But he goes on to say, and in the sight of your eyes, but know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. He said, listen, you live a life that honors God. Live a life to understand, I'm going to enjoy my life to the fullest, but I'm going to do it in the eyes of God. I'm going to do it that's going to honor God. Because he breaks it down and says, listen, as you enjoy your life, make sure you understand that God is going to bring you accountability for all that you do. All that means today is enjoy life in the fullness of God. Live a life that is harmonious with our God. Live a life that is joyful before our God. Not in sin, not in wrong. The second thing he talks about is removing today. Ecclesiastes 11:10. Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart. Put away evil from your flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. He says, remove the anxiety, remove the fear. What are you afraid about? What are you scared about? What are you having anxiety attacks about? What are you tripping about? He says, remove those things away. Remove the bitterness, the unforgiveness. Life is too short to sit there and be mad. Life is too short to sit there and be bitter. Life is too short to sit there and have unforgiveness. He says, listen, get rid of all that garbage. Get up and serve God. You only got one life to make things right, and make it right now. Don't wait for later on at all. Just remove the anxiety. You have peace in your heart, forgiveness in your heart, living a life that is the fullest. He says, child and youth are vanity. It doesn't mean that kids are vanity. It doesn't mean that. But what he's trying to say is, listen, when you're young, man, get up right now and serve God. Get up right now because you don't stay young. Ain't that right? Some of you remember you were 18 years old. You ain't 18 no more. It flew by. I think the day that you turned 18 years old, things just fly by real fast. And you realize, I don't got the same body. You realize, I ain't got the same hip. You realize, man, I ain't got the same muscles. You realize, man, everything is going down fast inside of my life. He says, avoid things that will bring trouble and pain later on. Take care of your body. Take time to relax. Take care of yourself. Build good habits now. He said, remove all that will destroy your soul. Remove the things that will destroy you. Remove the things that will mess up your spirit. Remove the things that are tearing up your life, and do it now. The third thing is to remember. I like this because it says, remember now you're created in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come. He says this, while the sun, the light, the moon, the stars are not darkened. You know what's crazy about it is he literally talks about us getting older one day. And I hope that we don't look like that when we get older, right? Thank you, Jesus. I just try to find the most craziest looking man. But what he's trying to do is, you got to remember, he literally looks at our lives as a broken down house. He's literally describing, one day you're not going to be like this. One day you're not going to be the strong, buff, macho, John Travolta looking man one day. One day you're not going to be like that. You're going to be like a house that's literally falling apart one day. Look what he says here today. Remember now you're created in the days of your youth, before the difficult days come. Literally, hey, listen, get up, give God your best, because listen, you're gonna need God. Goes on to say, and the years draw near when you say, I have no pleasure in them. Talking about someone getting older and says, man, I just want to go home. I'm tired of living in this body. I'm tired of all the aches. I'm tired of all the sickness. I'm tired of all the pain. We live in a world that is fallen. We live in a world that is sickness. We live in a world today that God didn't want this way, but man did this way because they obeyed the devil. There's sickness, there's disease, there's hurts, there's pain, there's all kinds of things. And God says, listen, one day all that's going to be gone. But while you live in this world right now, there's pain, there's murder, there's sin, there's all kinds of issues in our life. He said, as you get older, things are going to break down in your life. It goes on to say, it says, I have no pleasure in them, while the sun and the light, the moon, the stars are not darkened, and the clouds do not return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men bow down. When the grinder sees, talking about your teeth, because they are few, talking about losing teeth. And those who look through the windows grow dim. When the doors are shut in the streets, the sound of crying is low. When one rises up, the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of music are brought low. He says, man, you're going to come a day in your life, you're going to get so mad, even if the birds chirping outside, shut up and let me sleep! Can you imagine getting mad at birds? Because you're going to get to the point you get irritated. I noticed that as my dad, before he passed away, the older he got, the more irritated he got. The more upset he got. He had a short fuse. Like, man, Dad, relax. All right, man, it's a bird chirping. 4. When the doors are shut in the streets, the sound of crying is low. When one rises up, the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of music are brought low. Also they are afraid of height, and of terrors in the way. When the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper is a burden, and desire falls, for man goes to his eternal home, and the mourners go about the streets. Remember your Creator before the silver cord is loose, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well, and the dust returned to earth as it was, and the spirit returned to God who gave it. Vanity of vanity, says the preacher. All is vanity. Is remember that it's not going to stay this way. You might be just buff man today. Buff man, let me tell you something, it's going to go away one day. You got to understand, remember, understand and realize that none of us are going to live here forever. Our home is not here. We're just passing through. He says one day we're going to be in heaven. Before we get there, we're going to get older. That means the black hair you got is going to turn gray. The muscles you got, they're going to fade away. The things that's going on, you can jump somersaults, jump off buildings, that's going to fail one day. You got to remember who you are. Remember and enjoy life right now. Don't sit there and say, when I turn 50 years old, that's when I'm going to start getting it together. When I turn 80 years old, that's when I'm going to start getting it together. Just think about God. Pay attention to your life right now. Consider what you're doing and why you're obeying God today. Consider that as the days get older in your life, you need God even more so. Shows a picture in this face of the house falling apart because of old age, finally turned into dust. He starts to say you'll be afraid, and attitudes will change in your life. Things are going to go different. You're going to say, now, I'm scared of heights now, and I don't like this, and I don't like that. That's all fine. That's a part of life. Just remember who you are. The third thing, real quickly, is I want to show is a life is short, so learn your lessons. Ecclesiastes 1:9-12, and moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yes, he pondered the psalm and sought out to set the order of many proverbs. The preacher sought to find acceptable words, and what was written was upright. Words of truth. The words of the wise are like goads. A goad is like what you use for an animal or a cow. It's like electrifies them to make it get in order and they can get into the right step. And the words of scholars are like well-driven nails given by one shepherd. And further, my son, be admonished by these. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is wearisome of the flesh. See, one man said, life is like a school, except sometimes you don't know what the lessons are until you fail the examinations. And he's telling you, now listen, life's a school. Learn your lesson. Life's a school. You're going to fail sometimes. You're going to make mistakes sometimes. But learn off your mistakes. Don't sit there and die on your mistakes. Don't sit there and say, man, that's why I don't want to do nothing no more. Learn from them. All life is a school. I always tell people all the time, when you come in the house of God, it's a schoolhouse. You learn it, you take notes, you write, you walk out there and say, I'm going to put this stuff to practice. In life, you're going to lose some things. In life, you're going to fail some things. In life, you're going to gain some things. But he says, all life is a school of life. It's a school, but learn from life. Understand